Hello and welcome to what's probably going to be my first DC Universe Online video. I'm going to have a look at the character creation. I have actually made a couple of characters, and by a couple I mean quite a few. I probably spent like 12 hours in this character creator, and I know it inside out. The female version of it, at least. I didn't check around male very much because I knew I wanted to make a female character. And I'm going to actually focus on the female in this one because I will link you below to Total Biscuits and Jesse Cox. Both of them did videos, and they both made male characters and had a good look at what was available there. And I guess it's pretty much the same. You just have a different shaped body, obviously, and it's male and female. So pretty much the same thing there, just on a male or female. So the character creator, I'll give you my sort of first impressions of it. And first impressions, I say amazing. Like, this is probably my favorite character creator I've ever encountered. The options with actually customizing your character's skill set, what it can actually do in the game is not that great, but I think the game makes up for that when you're actually in-game and start leveling and getting those skills to put in your talents and stuff like that. So that's not really the big attraction to this character creator. To me, it's more the fact that you can really make whatever you want. You can really customize the character a lot in this. So I'm going to start right now without babbling too much. I'm doing this live, so I'm sitting in front of my computer right now recording, and I'm going to go through this with you guys step by step. So male and female, I'll just show you both of these quickly. Male, you can make this large burly guy, very intimidating looking. He doesn't really have a neck to speak of. I would never create a character that looked like that. The normal size, the medium one, that actually looks pretty decent. It's usable. And the small one, I actually think looks scary. Is like an absolute incredibly skinny version of Shia LaBeouf here. I don't know, he looks pretty weird. Okay, so we're gonna go for female this time, as I said. And the medium one looks good. Look, that's pretty much what most people would probably use. Large one is, well, she's large. I think it would have been cool if they gave you a little bit more options here, like just to sort of set the size you want yourself, but these are fine for me. I'm gonna go with I don't know, I'll go with medium, I suppose. I went for a small type character myself because I think the proportions are just right, and medium actually looked a little bit big. Okay, she's pretty tall, but I'm going to go with medium for now.
Select exobyte download type. Create a custom configuration or imprint using data from an Earth hero or villain.
And yes, I stopped talking quickly so you could hear that voice. You can go custom, which I'm going to go into just a second, but you can also do inspired by, and I really like this.
A hero or villain morality.
So I really like the way that they set this up. If you're just one of those kind of people that just wants to jump straight into the game, no fuss, you can choose a character that sort of looks like one of the famous characters. So here you go, you got a female inspired by Batman, Superman, Catwoman, Lex Luthor, the Joker. The Joker's one looks pretty cool, I gotta say. The Flash, that's also, yeah, that's weird. Wonder Woman looks a lot like Superman, obviously. Deathstroke, Bane, Cersei, Beast Boy, okay. Mr. Freeze, now that looks pretty funky. Green Arrow, I actually like this one a lot. I do think that this hoodie and stuff looks very cool. Steel. Also a very cool texture work there, very nice looking. And Martian Manhunter. So you can do this, you can go to any of them on any size, any gender, it all works. And this actually selects your entire template for your character. So if you look on the side here, it chooses your morality, your powers, your role, movement, everything. Basically, this presets a character for you, and then you can just go and customize a few smaller things if you want. So we're not going to go that route, we're going to go to custom.
Select a hero or villain morality.
Hero or villain morality. I hope the voices aren't too soft here. I actually struggled a lot getting the volume right. So hero or villain, this pretty much makes sense. You'll know exactly what's going on. So heroes, they tell you actually which includes what. This determines your allies and enemies in the world. So basically this is your faction. So you'd have in WoW Alliance or Horde. This is your Alliance or Horde. And they'll tell you a little bit about who's in which faction. You know, heroes, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, they're all heroes. The Joker, Lex Luthor, Cersei, all those weird guys are the villains. So I'm going to have a look at hero quickly first. And then you choose your personality. Okay, so this is just how your character looks when he's standing around or she's standing around in world. There are a couple of weird little animations they do every now and then, but pretty much just how it looks when it's standing in the game world. There's a few interesting types here. That's obviously the most heroic looking one, and both hero and villain have the same one here. So I'll go with Primal for now.
Select a mentor as a guidelines for data application.
Okay, so now you select your mentor, and as far as I can tell, I haven't played very much because I've been struggling at the character creation screen all this time. But as far as I can tell, this will just, let's just say, it'll determine how your story of your character unfolds. So if you go Batman, he's going to be your mentor. You'll probably have some contact with him in game. Basically, your story will root from Batman, and the same for the others. So this is not going to have a direct effect on the way your character works, the powers it has, nothing like that. So this is not too much thought needs to go into this. I say just choose your favorite one here. That's what I did, and I'll show you later my character creation as well. So it says here just affects your experience of the world. And oh wait, categories of weapons and armor. So they say combat is not affected. So categories of weapon and armor. I'm not quite sure how that works because they don't give you very much details about that. But let's go for Wonder Woman because we have in fact taken a female.
Select power group from available exobyte data to determine combat role.
So here is the interesting part. This is your power group. There are a couple of different, there's defense type powers, there's control type powers, and there are healing type powers. So I have to say this right away, all the characters in this game can DPS. There's no DPS spec, there's no DPS power. You'll be able to spec, actually, you'll be able to put your talent points in more DPS orientated stuff later on. And I know I think there's a dual spec system in place, so that won't really be a problem selecting more than one of them. But all these specs can DPS, so if you want to just go out there and do damage, you can select any one of these that looks cool to you. And wow, some of them really do look cool. Personally, I'll just tell you, I was quite torn between gadgets, because that is pretty cool, ice, and I was thinking about mental. So I don't know, they all are pretty cool. So let's start the start. Fire, this is a defensive one, and from my personal experience, I've actually gone into in-game with all of these, and I've had a look at them all in-game, check the talent trees out, stuff like that. So it looks like it has some nice AoE, some nice direct damage, and it also has some protective stuff where you can protect your friends and sort of increase your defense. That's obviously why it's a defensive power. So it looks like fun. I think Total Biscuit is using this on his character. Gadgets, this is I think pretty interesting. It'll actually tell you which characters use what. Batman's obviously a gadget user, and something like, I actually don't know where Superman would fall under, but it's pretty interesting. So gadgets, this is a control one, and this is more stuff like crowd control, stunning people. This is going to be your, let's just say, your group is going to consist of the DPSs, which I think, I'm not sure how many it was. I don't know how many DPS / tanking / healing people would be in a group, because as I said, I haven't played very much. But this is your crowd controller, your buffer, your debuffer, stuff like that. So there's a good mix, and I think it's nice that they kept it as simple as they did. So let's see. Gadgets, control. Dictate the course of battle with ingenious mechanical weapons and tools. It sounds pretty interesting. Ice looks incredibly cool, and that's defensive once again. Command the power of ice, shaping it into mighty weapons and protecting your allied with frigid winds. Also nice. Mental, assault and control others, either by psychic power or the sheer force of your will. That does sound pretty intimidating. Nature, now I gotta say, nature doesn't sound intimidating at all. Unleash the elemental forces to change form. Yes, this has actually got a lot of shapeshifting stuff. I've had a look in game, and you can turn into bears, insects, wolves, all manner of stuff. It actually does look cool, okay? But it is a healing healing tree, so there's going to be a lot of healing stuff knocked in there as well. I'll discuss later that actually when you log in game, you'll have two sets. So nature will have, say, restoration or balance, like that's now obviously taking it back to WoW, but there'll be two trees, plus you'll have your iconic powers, but we can discuss that later. So nature, that's interesting. Sorcery, also a healing one. Revive your allies with a whispered incantation, or summon occult pets to do your bidding. So that's summoning and healing. Nature nature, as I said, I'm just going to recap them for you all, is, as far as I know, shapeshifting and healing. Mental, I can't remember what they were, but I know there were a lot of cool stuff in here that I liked. Mass levitation, a lot of crowd controlling stuff, so it's probably going to be quite cool for PvP. Ice, a lot of stuns as well. As you can imagine, quite a few of these buffs that sort of make your body ice, and if people attack you, they take damage. If you hit them, you hit harder. Stuff like that. Very interesting. Gadgets, once again, quite a few stealthy stuff in here. I looked at a few of them and I saw there's a smoke bomb which makes you disappear. I don't know how that works, but it does sound really cool. There's a stealth skill. There's a bunch of like tripwires, traps, stuff like that. Interesting stuff. And fire, I think, is all just brute force stuff. So I'm going to pick just any random one. I'll take gadgets for now.
Select movement mode.
Okay, so movement mode. This is a very big deal. I'm not going to play it down in any way. This is your primary movement mode. So you've got flight, acrobatics, and super speed. And I got to say, all three of these are really cool. And for those of you that are going to maybe look at getting this game for yourselves, that have tried it out and didn't sort of figure this out for yourselves, I'll just tell you, the movement modes each get their own talent tree as well. So this game really does take it to the next level. They give you a lot of stuff to do, a lot of customization. And so your movement modes, flight gets a bunch of different stuff. I'll just tell you here, it says streak through the skies and swoop down on your opponents. Movement mode affects your speed, style, and maneuvers in combat. And yes, it does. Say for instance, flight has stuff like a skill called dust off. So that'll make you sort of forcefully jump off the ground and stun everyone around you, thereby shooting you into the air a couple of meters or a little distance. And that's really cool. Okay, that's amazingly nice. There are skills that make you fly faster. There are skills that's like swoop attacks that you can fly down and attack people on the ground. That's really cool. Acrobatics. Oh, okay, so flight, basically you fly around like Superman. It feels a little sluggish when you're flying, but I think when you get the movement increasing stuff, then it'll be quite cool. Acrobatics, interesting, but it's not my cup of tea. So you can grip on, it says grip onto and climb any surface, leaping down to destroy opponents. Interesting, but this is stuff like Batman, I think, uses acrobatics, and various other heroes. You run pretty fast with acrobatics. You climb walls. As far as I can tell, you can climb on the roof as well. I didn't test it out as much, but you get things like grapple hooks. Wires that you can shoot up. It's a grapple hook. You shoot up like Batman does, and it pulls you up really fast. You get different attacks, like sort of martial artsy attacks stuff that you can do. It's very interesting. Super speed, like the Flash. Race up and over any surface, dashing into the midst of combat. This is really cool, and I think a lot of the skills are focused on the fact that you're moving so fast. Whirlwind skills, confusing your opponent, stunning them a bit because you move so fast. You know, just it's what you can expect from this kind of thing, and it does look really cool. Have a look at that, the little lightning thing. When you run, another thing people maybe didn't know is that your armor's, the color that streaks behind you is your armor's color, so, or your basic gear setup. It's either that or it might actually be your power, but anyway, it looks really cool. It moves very, very fast as well. So let's just take super speed for now. It doesn't matter. Now your weapon.
Select weapon specialties from available data.
Some very interesting choices here. They've got all the basic types here. There's bow, brawling. So I don't need to really explain them to you because it's sort of self-explanatory. Bow is a slower, precise, long-range style attack. You'll probably be able to figure that out for yourself. Brawling is melee type, and it's slightly slower. Dual pistols, that's a fast-ranged attack. Dual wield, that's a fast melee attack. Both your hands using weapons, obviously, dual wielding. A hand blast, now that's interesting. That's the kind of thing Superman uses, I guess, or does he use it? Yeah, anyway. That's a mixture between melee and directing power through your bare hands. Martial arts is a very fast melee orientated style, and it actually uses weapons, fist weapons. Very cool. One-handed, I think that's one of my favorites actually. That's just using one weapon in one hand, and it's also pretty fast. So next one, rifle. Also quite interesting. They had to put that in there. I mean, all those Joker fanboys want to use a rifle, and it is cool. There are lots of different guns and stuff. Staff. That's pretty fast, and I think the range is a little bit longer than normal melee attacks. Very interesting. And lastly, two-handed, so that's a slower, more sluggish attack, but it's obviously more powerful as well. So let's take something interesting here. Let's take dual wield. There you go. So now,
appearance options now available. Modify any category as desired.
let's just let...
Download when ready.
She keeps interrupting me. Let's let the nice lady talk. Okay, so costume, you can go to that right now, but then it gives you a summary of your characters. You can just go back and choose whatever you want. If I decided I want to go comical instead, I can do that. You can just go through all the options that you just chose and customize them. But here we go. This is the interesting part. Your costume setup. So I'm going to start with the basic ones, your body. So this is probably your most important choices that you're going to make. And there it just puts you in that sports bra and panty. And you get the basic human skins, but then you jump to the second one, and that's already quite out there. Leopard. Now, I don't know if any of you guys are playing this. You can let me know if you actually chose any of these, because I don't know. They just don't appeal to me. Okay, I don't want a skin that's furry, and I don't want a tail. I guess you can make a pretty cool character like this, but it's just not my cup of tea. It's not what I really dig. They look cool anyway. Okay, so the texture work is pretty good. And then you get the more interesting stuff. Crystalline. Wow, that looks cool. Okay, it looks a bit weird with the hair on there, but oh, more skin. Here's one of my favorites, personal favorites, obviously. I like the undead skin, and I think you can do some really interesting stuff with it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how you can actually customize these in just a second. So chrome, glow-in, I can tell that this is going to be very popular, the glow-in skin, because you can do some really interesting stuff with that too. Barbarian, that's just a few tattoos. That's just a darker shade. Lava, rock, mummy, reptile. Oh, that's very cool. Plant, cyborg, demonic. That does look pretty demonic. Robot, that's also very, very nicely done. The texture work, the glowing effects, the lighting, all of that stuff is really, really well done here. Tattooed, angry, these are just facial expressions now. Youthful, wise, and lastly, human skin. So I'm going to take a slightly basic one. Oh, actually, I'm going to take a pretty extravagant one quickly, rather. Let's have a look at glowing, and then I'm going to go straight back, and I'm going to customize the colors of that quickly, just to show you, give you a bit of an idea of what you can actually do with that. So here you can customize colors of your gear, skin, hair, eyes, and makeup. I'm going to go for skin. Now look at this. You can really, if I just set the brightness and intensity up, you can choose any color of the spectrum, any color at all out there. You can make your skin that color. You can make it, let's go for a blue color. You can change your brightness and intensity. If you set the brightness all the way down, look at that. That's really pretty freaky looking. And you can make some really interesting stuff with this. Wow. I mean, look at that. Some interesting glows, some interesting colors. You really can go crazy, and there's really no limit to what you can make with this character creator. So you can do that with all the skins. You can change something like, let's go for the undead skin quickly. You can make it look a lot different than it's looking right now. Say for instance you want a brighter colored undead, you can just change that there. And then say you want to change the scars on the undead body. You can do that right here too. Yes, indeed, you can customize it all. There you go. So now if we want to make our undead lady look a little bit nicer, we put some... I'll show you all of this in just a second, but we can put some glowing eyes in there too. That does look really weird. Okay, so let's get back to the skin color. I'm going to choose something basic quickly, because I think the rest of the stuff will just look a lot better on there if we choose a basic one. So I'm going to take human skin. I don't know what that was, human skin 3. And then hair. I'm going to scroll all the way to the top quickly. You can obviously go for a bald head there. That's obviously always there. Defcon. That's a slightly anime-ish one. There's an incredibly anime-ish one later down. Ninja's braid. Bob. All these can be changed as well. You can't customize the actual hair, but you can change the color. Any color out there. There's a spiked mohawk. That's pretty cool. Normal mohawk. Mr. T style, and there is a metalhead hairstyle, wavy, braided, schoolgirl. I'm not going to show you everything, but there are really cool ones, and I'm not going to twist them all around. I kind of like Pixie, that's the one I actually used, but you'll have to wait for that. Dreadlocks, that's actually really cool. I think you can make some nice stuff with that too. Spiky, there's the anime one, look at that. That's straight out of Bleach or something. Flat top and fade. So I'm going to go with something like Defcon right now. And as you can see, I can move very fast through this character create screen because I've spent like 12 hours in here. No joking there. Let's go for head. Start at the top. There are some very interesting stuff here. Okay, I mean, you can go straight up Space Invader alien style here with cool helmets and stuff. And then you can get slightly more classic stuff. That does look really cool as well. There are some standard superhero-ish masks here, and I do say, I'll tell you now, I appreciate the fact that they put them in here because, as I said, you can change every single color, and I will choose one that'll actually sort of showcase that because there's so much customizing to be done. Oh, look at the top hat. I can think of a few people that'll appreciate that. And all these, really cool. I mean, I can just imagine the possibilities with this, especially with those glowing eyes there. Then you got a RoboCop one here too. You got to have that in there, superheroes. Got to be representing like that. So all these masks, there is a lot of them, yes. But as I said, you got to have that variety. There's a cool hood as well, knight. So you can actually make a nice old school knight in shining armor character. You heard it here first, guys. Knight in shining armor. There's your superhero name right there. This video is actually going to turn out very long, isn't it? So all these different masks here. Ruined hood looks amazingly cool. There's this, that's... What can I say about that? Wow, that's pretty funny looking there. And there you go. A lot of cool stuff. Oh, and there's even a street one with a cap and a hoodie. That's pretty cool. So, yes, if you just realized the transition in the video, I actually ran out of hard drive space. I didn't realize this video would be as long as it is. And yes, there are just too many options here. So I'm not going to put anything on the head just yet because we want to see the rest of the options. Okay, so face. Let's have a look at face. There's a bunch of stuff you can do here. It's actually pretty much the stuff you'd expect. Spectacles, goggles, glasses, emissive eyes. Very cool. I think that's going to be overused. Eye patches. Ooh, there's a clown one. I think all the Joker fanboys would probably love that. There's a standard Zorro one. Gas mask. Pretty cool. A lot of interesting stuff here. I don't know. I'm not going to go through every single one of them with you now, but there's a lot. Okay? So once again, I'm just going to keep the glowing eyes for now. And if we have a look at the next one, we've got an emblem here. Okay, so you can put pretty much any symbol you'd want on your chest, every letter of the alphabet, and a couple of symbols, as I said. And you can change those colors, custom change them to pretty much anything you'd want. So the problem is you can't import your own ones here, so you're going to have to find something that sort of works for you. Which is not a problem because there are so many of them that they actually will work for you. I mean, there's really going to be a ton. I can't tell you how. Look at this. There's a lot of them. Okay, this list scrolls forever, and there's a good selection there. Okay, now the interesting stuff. This chest. So with the chest, you get to change the chest, the legs, the feet, the hands, and the waist. So let's check these out. Arcane looks really cool. Basic suit. Battle harness, that's sort of your Wonder Woman-ish kind of thing there. Battle mage, biker. I'm just going to show you a couple of them here, and then I'll show you a couple of combinations that you can use. There's a lot of these flexi suits that have patterns and stuff on, and once again, you can customize them a lot. That's really cool. Metalhead right there. You can customize them a lot. You can change the colors nicely. You can make it look how you want it to look. So there's a lot of these that expose the cleavage, and you gotta have that. I mean, as a superhero, superheroine, you absolutely have to show your breasts to people. I mean, yeah. Actually, there's no more needs to be said about that. Anyway, okay. So street, slimline, t-shirt, tank top. One of my favorites, actually. And let's just choose something slightly more standard, and we'll have a look what we can do with it. So I'll choose something like Arcane. Okay, that's not standard at all. What am I even talking about? And let's do the legs first, because this actually, each chest piece has a corresponding headpiece. I mean, look how cool the full Arcane set looks. And imagine the nice tronified set that you can make here by changing those colors to something more bright. Let me actually show that to you right now, because there's obviously really cool stuff that you can do with that. So if you go to gear, you go to palette, let's choose the brighter color, and let's change it to something slightly less bright, slightly more vibrant. Look at that. That's really cool. Let's check the secondary color as well. See, you can do some really interesting stuff here. Let's make it black. Ooh, look at that. Okay, that's very cool. So you can do absolutely anything you like here. Really, look at that suit. Okay, wow, nothing more needs to be said there, but I'm going to change the colors back to be to the defaults here, and then I'll go out of the color system back to the gear, and then let's look at back. Okay, backpack, very, very standard. I mean, come on, okay, if you want to be a schoolgirl, you know, RP that stuff right there, you might need a backpack. There's the classic Superman cape. Some different capes here as well. Paramilitary. Sorry, I'm just struggling to say things here because I've been talking so long. There you got a quiver, rounded cape, short cape. And, okay, you can have wings as well. Small demon wings and tech wings. Those are also really cool. And then a couple of different capes here as well. So for now, let's take something like tattered cape. Yes, indeed. Okay, hands. There's a bunch of different gloves here. I don't really need to say very much about this. You can do some really interesting stuff with this as well. I'm going to choose something like, let's go for Luna. There you go. Waist. The belts, I think the reason you'd want to use a belt is because sometimes there are these funny little joints between your armor, your top, your chest, and your legs, and sometimes a belt just looks good there, and it takes away that little joint there, and it makes it just look more complete. And then legs we did look at. Why am I even going in there again? Feet, there are some interesting boots here. I don't think you'd want to use boots with a cool outfit like this arcane one that I chose here, but there are some interesting ones here. No doubt about that. Okay, so let's choose that one actually. There you go, that looks pretty cool. And now, I've chosen most of the gear stuff here, but that's not where the customization ends. As I said, you can change everything here with your colors. Let's look at the skin colors quickly. You can actually be totally green, totally blue, any color you want. You can make pretty much anything. You can be totally yellow skinned, which I'm not sure why I'd want to do that. I'm going to stick with the standard one for now. Hair colors, once again, you can change anything you want. You can change it to some absolutely crazy colors. You can make a Stormish character here. See there, straight from X-Men. That's not a DC comic, is it? Let's stay away from that one for now. Hey, let's choose this absolutely crazy red color. You can change the glow of the eyes, make it something slightly different. Let's make them red to suit those that nice hairstyle I've got there. And then makeup, just that's for if you've got those tattoos and stuff on your body. So that's pretty much all of it. You can now the main thing is the gear changing. You can customize your palette, okay, so it works in this way. Customize the palette. Sorry, this video is very long, I know. I'm going to choose 3 totally crazy colors here. Red and white and black for the last one. Oops, that's over there, black. Okay, so now I've got 3 totally different colors there. Now you can go into customize gear, then you can choose every single one you want, and then you can choose different colors. So I'm choosing slot 1, I want that white, slot 2, I want black instead, and slot 3, I want white as well. And you can do that with every single piece of gear. So you have no limit to what you can do here. Like, I really think this is, to me, the most in-depth character creator I've had, and not just in-depth in the sense that there's a lot of options, but it's really cool. Like, you can make some really cool superheroes here, and like a lot of games nowadays don't give you those options. So look at that. I mean, that actually doesn't make sense to me, but it does look really cool. So you can do a lot of cool stuff. I like the robot one here. Let me just go back down to that quickly. There you go. See a little robot from outer space that uses magic because he's got some arcane armor on. Anyway, it doesn't have to make sense. You can make whatever feels cool to you. So when you're done customizing your character, you can just set all your skill stuff again, and then you can just say next, enter your name. I thought it's worth pointing out that you can actually have words here. You can have a couple. You can have sort of, if you want to make this what can I call my character? Let's think of something on the fly here. Robot mage. I mean, that's not unoriginal at all. You can call it whatever you want, and then you can just log in with that, see if the name is taken. Let's hope this name isn't taken, because that would be a bit of a fail. And there you go, in game. Loading doesn't take too long. Loading screens are amazing. Look at that. And then you'll be in game. And I'm not going to play with Robot Girl here, because Robot Mage, sorry. She's absolutely amazing, gorgeous, and totally cool. I don't know why I wouldn't want to play as her, but I'm not going to. I've made my own character. So there you go. That's the character creation.
The hack worked. I'm in, and you're awake and free.
And now this lady's talking over me again.
Okay, I'm Oracle.
But
and we are
I'm going to get into the
you off
gameplay
this
in
ship. Look
just
for
a little
doorway
while.
out.
I'm going to be recording another video soon of the gameplay and of my first little playthrough it. So check back here soon. I hope you enjoyed the character creation. I hope it wasn't too long, because it is in fact a very long video. And let me know what you guys think about it. Maybe this will entice you into trying the game out. You do get a free month with purchase, so it seemed worth it to me. I'll see you again soon.